students. Today we are discuss the topics about constructor. Generally, what is constructor is a special type of method and it is used to initialize the object and class, and it's invoked automatically when an object of the class is created using the new keyword. Okay. What about the types of constructor?
There are three types of constructor. One was copy constructor, default, and another one was
Parameterized constructor.
So default constructor is nothing but by creating an object, there is defaultly a constructor has been defined. By defining that constructor, when there is already created a constructor method that can be accessed or called by using the class name. And another one was parameterized constructor. So program was class sample. So inside of the class name, we are declaring two variables and declaring as a data type int, and we are creating a method of constructor with the class name sample, and we are printing this constructor. And another one was our void main function. We are calling object. By creating an object, we are using class name and object and new, and this class name bracket was a constructor. This calls this method and access it, and the other one was we are printing these two variables by using of object.
Okay, this is default constructor, and who can explain about the parameterized and copy constructor?
Parameterized constructor is we passing the values using the constructor is parameterized constructor. First we declare two variables, roll number, marks, and we created the constructor sample giving int num, int mark. We print this is constructor and assigning the values to num and mark. In the main function we created an object. We passing the values in parameters. Then we print the outputs.
Okay.
That's all.
And what about copy constructor?
So copy constructor is nothing but it is a copy of an already existing constructor which will be called using the object name. So for the program part, we are defining the class as sample, and it has two variables as int roll number and int marks, and we are creating a method called sample with the name of the class name, and we are passing two parameterized arguments, that is int num and int marks. Inside the object, we are printing the statement as this is a constructor, and we are assigning the roll number with num and the marks with the mark we are giving in the main program, and then we are creating another object, another method with sample of other, which means we are giving the same class name and other, so that the constructor calls itself one more time. So now this will print as this is a copy of a constructor as it is being copied from the previous constructor, and the roll number is given as other dot roll number and marks is given as other dot marks, which will be copied from the previous method. So now the main function, inside the main function we are creating an object one as from sample, and we are passing the roll number and marks in the method, and now we will be printing the statement like in object 1 the roll number is the given value and the mark is the given value, and the same like that we are creating another object 2 with the same passed arguments, like we are giving the object 1 in the parameter variable so that it calls the previous method so that the values is assigned, and it prints the same as object 2 has the roll number of the same value and the mark as same value.
Okay, anyone can summarize the thing which can be discussed in the session?
I'll summarize this one. So we start with what is a constructor. A constructor is nothing but a special type of method which is used to initialize object with a class name, and it is created using the new keyword. Okay, now I will speak about the types of constructors. First we saw default constructor. Default constructor is nothing but a normal object created in a Java program, which is a default constructor. So we will be only giving the value like class name with an object name, which is equal to new and its object name with a normal close bracket. So now moving on to parameterized constructor. parameterized constructor is nothing but we will be passing a value to the called method, which is like here we have assigned two variable names like int num and int mark in the method. So in the main program, while creating an object, we have given passed the values like the roll number and the marks to the method, so that it is using the values from the main program in the method which is created. So in a copy constructor is normally used when object is required more than 2 times. Like we will be creating the method with the variable name as other, so that we will be using the variable method like multiple times, so that in the first object we will be assigning a variable value, and while creating it more times, we will be just giving the same object 1 value to the newly created object to pass the arguments, and that is when constructor is copied multiple times. Thank you.